Hello and welcome to your favorite show where we talk about the fourth stimulus check update and the fourth stimulus package update, as well as other important news. Before we get to the fourth stimulus check news, we have some important updates from the IRS about the $1,400 third stimulus check. On Wednesday, a new batch of the $1,400 stimulus checks was sent out, bringing up the total number of payments to almost 167 million checks, with a total dollar amount of $391 billion. And a fun fact for you, so far the total money spent on the first, second, and third stimulus checks is $807 billion. That's a pretty insane number to spend on just stimulus checks. As far as this last batch of payments go, there were 1.8 million payments sent, and 900,000 of those payments were plus-up payments. The plus-up payments are the first and second round of stimulus checks going out to people who didn't meet the income thresholds for stimulus checks with their 2019 tax return, but now they're eligible for stimulus checks after filing their 2020 tax returns. Now, this may be because they lost their jobs in 2020 and made less money than they did back in 2019, or they worked reduced hours and so on. There's many reasons for that. So if you didn't file your 2020 tax return yet and they'd make you eligible to receive their stimulus checks, then do so as soon as possible. Of course, I'm not a financial or tax advisor, and this information is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And by the way, if you missed the filing deadline, which was on the 17th of May, it's not too late to file a return now. And the good news is that you can still file and claim the refund, and you won't owe the IRS a late filing penalty if you are due money back. But if you owe money to the IRS, then you may have to pay interest and penalty on a late payment. But maybe that will be offset now that you qualify for stimulus checks. I'm sure everyone's situation is different, so just look into your situation more and see what's best for you. But just know that as of now, the deadline to recoup any missing stimulus checks is October 15th. The IRS didn't say anything about extending that deadline or what is going to happen after October 15th in regards to stimulus checks. Now let's talk about the fourth stimulus check and talk about it realistically. I'll break everything that's happening so far with that so you get the full picture. Is the idea of a fourth stimulus check gaining momentum? Sure, but that's not the full picture. Yes, we now have at least 80 Democrats in Congress plus Vice President Kamala Harris supporting a fourth stimulus check. Don't forget that she sponsored a bill last year that called for recurring stimulus checks, not just stimulus checks, when she was still a senator. We also have 21 senators who wrote a letter to President Biden advocating for recurring stimulus checks, saying, "The pandemic has served as a stark reminder that families and workers need certainty in a crisis. They deserve to know they can put food on the table and keep a roof over their heads. They should not be at the mercy of constantly shifting legislative timelines and ad hoc solutions." And just last week, something that we talked about here on the channel, we had 7 Democrats from the influential House Ways and Means Committee asking for a fourth and a fifth stimulus check. In their letter, they wrote, "Families and workers shouldn't have to worry about whether they'll have enough money to pay for essentials in the months ahead as the country continues to fight a global pandemic and a recession." Yes, we are still in the pandemic, and we're also still in an economic recession. The letter also suggests that 2 more rounds of stimulus payments would be required as families continue to struggle with their finances, and a fourth and fifth stimulus checks could keep an additional 12 million people out of poverty. But here's the problem. I am yet to hear President Biden or Nancy Pelosi talk about a fourth stimulus check, and they are very powerful people, especially on the Democratic side. On top of that, the situation now is very different from early in the year where the virus cases were skyrocketing and we had something like 200,000 to 300,000 cases per day. Things were looking very dark back then, and we were losing 3,000 to 4,000 people per day to the virus. That's when the conversation about the third stimulus check package was heating up, and the vaccine was still just being offered to doctors, nurses, and essential workers. Right now, things are looking very, very different. The daily new cases are hovering around 20,000 cases per day, some days a little more, some days a little less, and a lot of people are getting vaccinated. And it's not just adults now getting vaccinated, even kids between 12 and 16 years of age are getting the vaccine as well, and they're saying that it's effective. So things are looking much better. The number of cases now is very similar to what it was this time last year, but the big test will be how it's going to hold up when people start getting together more for holidays like Memorial Day and 4th of July and so on. And last year we saw a spike up, but this year we might not see this spike because we have the vaccine now. So that will paint a very different picture if we don't see any spike this summer. Another reason why getting a fourth stimulus check is an uphill battle is because of how the economy is doing. There are almost 8 million job openings right now, and businesses can't fill. And many Republicans argue that this is because of the $300 federal unemployment boost, which is set to expire in September. And some Republican governors are already choosing to opt out of this benefit, which will force more people to go back to the job market. So if we get better jobs reports in the coming couple of months, it will make it very difficult to justify a fourth stimulus check. How can you advocate spending money on another stimulus check when there are others advocating for stopping the spending of more money that was already approved? On top of that, starting July 15th, millions of households will start receiving their monthly stimulus checks. Yes, they are monthly stimulus checks from the child tax credit, which will drive consumer spending even higher, which will show a better economic recovery. So the argument will be, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how the economy is doing. Let's wait and see how the vaccinations are going. Let's see how the virus cases do in the next couple of months. And let's see how the unemployment numbers do. Last month, the numbers were not great, but we'll have to wait and see what's going to be like next month and the months after that. So there are many factors here that the politicians are going to look at. I personally believe that all these factors are going to point to a better economic recovery, which in turn drops the chances of a fourth stimulus check passing. But again, this is just what I think, and I'd love to read your thoughts on that in the comments below. My only concern here is that people who are on Social Security, SSI, and SSDI are completely forgotten. Getting 1.3% raise this year is a slap in the face, especially when prices are increasing anywhere between 5, 6, 7, and 10%. And what happened to the $200 monthly raise? I still didn't hear anything about that. Anyway, that's all I have for you in today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified whenever I publish new videos and new content for you. And also, get your free stock from Robinhood in the link below just by opening an account. And you don't have to make any deposits or anything like that to get your free stock. And make sure to check the link for the Yara savings account. It's a savings account that is FDIC insured, but gives you interest with a lottery system. If you use the link below, you'll get 100 tickets when you deposit as little as $25 for a chance to win up to $10 million. Then you'll get a weekly ticket for every $25 you deposit. Finally, don't forget to get your free stocks from Webull when you deposit only $100, which is just like cash. You can take it out anytime you feel like it. All the links are in the description below. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.